Welcome to Everyday English Practice, the channel where you learn English naturally and every day. Do you want to improve your English listening and speaking skills while learning about world history? In today's lesson, you will learn English through the story of one of the most influential leaders of modern Iran, Ayatollah Seyed Ali Khamenei. This story will help you practice clear pronunciation, vocabulary, and listening comprehension. Listen carefully. Repeat the sentences. And speak English with confidence. Ready? Let us start. Today, you will listen to a long and detailed story about one of the most influential political and religious figures in modern Iran, Ayatollah Seyed Ali Khamenei. His life spans decades of dramatic political change, revolution, war, and global tension. By following this story, you will hear clear English sentences and natural storytelling that help you improve your listening and understanding while learning about important historical events. This story begins in Mashhad, one of Iran's most sacred and historic cities. Early life and family background. Ayatollah Seyed Ali Khamenei was born on April 19, 1939, in Mashhad, located in northeastern Iran. Mashhad is known for its religious significance and for being home to one of the most important shrines in the Shia Muslim world. Khamenei was born into a religious family. His father, Seyed Javad Khamenei, was a respected cleric who devoted his life to Islamic scholarship and religious teaching. His mother, Khadija Murdamadi, also came from a religious family and supported the spiritual education of her children. Although the family was respected, they lived a modest life. Financial resources were limited, and the young Khamenei grew up in a simple household. These early experiences shaped his personality and worldview. From childhood, he was exposed to religious teachings, scholarly discussions, and the traditions of Islamic learning. As a young boy, Khamenei began studying religious subjects in the traditional seminary system known as the Hawza. This system had existed for centuries and was designed to train Islamic scholars and clerics. Students studied Arabic grammar, logic, theology, and Islamic jurisprudence. The young Khamenei showed dedication and discipline in his studies. Religious education and intellectual development. As he progressed in his studies, Khamenei continued learning in Mashhad before traveling to other centers of religious scholarship. In 1957 he briefly traveled to Najaf, in Iraq, which was historically one of the most important centers of Shia scholarship. However, he soon returned to Iran and later moved to the city of Qom in 1958. Qom had become the main center of Shia religious education in Iran. There he studied under several important scholars, including the influential religious leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. During these years, Khamenei immersed himself in religious texts and philosophical discussions. He studied Islamic law, theology, history, and Arabic literature. He became fluent in Arabic in addition to Persian and Azerbaijani. He also developed a strong interest in literature and political thought. He translated works from Arabic into Persian, including writings by Egyptian thinker Seyed, whose ideas about political Islam influenced many activists in the Muslim world during the 20th century. These intellectual influences played an important role in shaping Khamenei's worldview and political philosophy. Political awakening in the 1960s. During the 1960s, Iran was ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. The Shah promoted modernization policies known as the White Revolution. These reforms included land redistribution, expanded education, and social changes. However, many religious leaders believed the reforms threatened traditional religious values and increased Western influence in Iran. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini became one of the most outspoken critics of the Shah's policies. Khamenei, who admired Khomeini's leadership and ideas, became involved in the movement opposing the monarchy. Because of his political activities, Khamenei was arrested several times by the Shah's security organization, known as SAVAK. Despite these arrests and restrictions, he continued teaching and delivering sermons in Mashhad. His speeches often combined religious teachings with political messages about justice, independence, and resistance to foreign influence. Years of struggle and resistance. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Khamenei remained active in both religious education and political activism. He taught students, wrote articles, and helped distribute religious and political literature. The authorities continued to monitor him closely. In 1974 he was arrested again and transferred to a prison in Tehran. After his release, he returned to Mashhad, but the government imposed restrictions on his public activities. Despite these limitations, the opposition movement against the Shah continued to grow across Iran. The Iranian Revolution of 1979. By the late 1970s, dissatisfaction with the Shah's government had reached a critical point. Mass protests erupted across the country. In January 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile and quickly became the central figure of the revolutionary movement. The monarchy collapsed in February 1979, and Iran was declared an Islamic republic. During this revolutionary period, Khamenei emerged as an important political figure. He helped establish the Islamic Republican Party and participated in building the institutions of the new government. He also worked with revolutionary organizations responsible for defending the new political system. The assassination attempt. In June 1981, a dramatic and dangerous event nearly ended his life. While delivering a speech in a mosque in Tehran, a bomb hidden inside a tape recorder exploded near him. The explosion severely injured him and permanently damaged his right arm. Despite this injury, he survived and eventually returned to political life. The attack strengthened his reputation among supporters, who saw him as a leader who had suffered for the revolution. Presidency of Iran. Later in 1981, after the assassination of President Muhammad Ali Rajai, Khamenei was elected as the third president of the Islamic Republic of Iran. He served as president from 1981 until 1989. His presidency coincided with one of the most difficult periods in Iran's modern history, the Iran-Iraq War. The conflict began in 1980 and lasted 8 years, causing enormous human and economic losses. During this time, Khamenei worked closely with Ayatollah Khomeini and other leaders to maintain the stability of the state. He also chaired important government councils related to defense and cultural policy. Becoming supreme leader. In June 1989, Ayatollah Khomeini died. Iran faced an important decision about its future leadership. The Assembly of Experts met to choose a successor. After deliberation, they selected Ali Khamenei as the new supreme leader of Iran. The position of supreme leader holds the highest authority in the Iranian political system. The role includes oversight of the armed forces, appointment of key officials, and strategic influence over national policy. Since 1989, Khamenei served as the supreme leader, guiding Iran through decades of political challenges and international tensions. Rising tensions in the Middle East. Relations between Iran, the United States, and Israel have been tense for decades. Since the Iranian Revolution of 1979, the Iranian leadership has strongly criticized both countries. Israel, for its part, has viewed Iran as a major strategic threat, particularly because of Iran's support for regional groups and its missile program. The United States has often aligned with Israel in opposing Iran's military and nuclear ambitions. These tensions created a long period of geopolitical rivalry in the Middle East. Why the United States and Israel attacked Iran. In early 2026, tensions escalated dramatically. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz described the first strikes on February 28 as a preemptive strike designed to remove threats against the State of Israel. However, he did not explain fully why military action was necessary at that specific moment. On March 2, United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States had known that Israel planned military action. According to him, America also acted preemptively because officials believed Iran might attack American forces in the region. An Israeli Defense Forces spokesman, Brigadier General Efi Difrin, later said that the operation had been prepared for months. According to his statement, the plan involved strategic deception intended to catch Iran off guard. Inside the United States, some lawmakers questioned the decision to go to war. They called on President Donald Trump's administration to provide clear evidence that Iran posed an immediate threat. Nevertheless, the conflict was also connected to deeper political disagreements that had existed for decades. Israel and the United States have long opposed Iran's nuclear program. They claim Iran has attempted to develop nuclear weapons. Iran has strongly denied this claim. In June 2025, the United States and Israel attacked several Iranian nuclear and military facilities. The fighting lasted for 12 days. After that conflict, Western governments said Iran was attempting to rebuild its nuclear program and develop advanced missiles capable of delivering nuclear warheads. President Donald Trump warned that such missiles could one day reach the United States, although American intelligence agencies did not fully support that assessment. Israel's government argued that Iran's military capabilities posed a direct threat to its existence. For this reason, Israeli leaders called for the elimination of Iran's nuclear and missile programs. The United States first openly discussed the possibility of military action in January, when Iranian security forces suppressed domestic protests with deadly force. Later, diplomatic negotiations between the United States and Iran began. For a short time, it appeared that the two sides might reach an agreement. However, on February 27, President Trump stated publicly that he was not happy with the progress of the talks. Only hours later, joint military operations by the United States and Israel began. On March 6, President Trump declared that there would be no deal with Iran unless the country agreed to what he called unconditional surrender. Reported death of Ayatollah Khamenei. According to reports that circulated during the conflict, a major attack targeted a residence in northern Tehran on February 28, 2026. Those reports claimed that Ayatollah Khamenei, along with members of his family, died during the bombing. Supporters described him as a martyr, a term used in Shia Islamic tradition to honor those believed to have died defending their faith or nation. The event marked one of the most dramatic moments in modern Middle Eastern political history. Whether admired or criticized, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei played a central role in shaping modern Iran. From a modest childhood in Mashhad to becoming the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, his life reflected the dramatic political transformations of the Middle East over the past half-century. His leadership spanned revolution, war, political reform debates, international negotiations, and continuing geopolitical tensions. For historians and political observers, his legacy remains closely connected to the history of modern Iran itself. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and comment for more impressive content.